Well, Tennessee is really special. We have over 10,000 caves in the state, one of the highest density of caves by area anywhere in the world. This cave is a winter hibernaculum for tricolored bats. Before white nose syndrome, tricolored bats were really the most abundant, commonly seen bat in caves. Recreational caving on TWRA-owned caves has been closed since about 2010 because around that time we discovered this deadly fungus called white nose syndrome that's decimated bat populations in eastern North America, and now it's spread to the western part of North America.
How far are you coming to the top rock? I began bat research and bat work after the introduction of white nose syndrome, so all I've known is the decline, sort of the desperation, numbers constantly going down, seeing sick bats, and our bats are facing so many stressors across the U.S., and because we can't find a cure for this white nose syndrome, because we can't introduce something to kill off the fungus because it could throw off the balance of something else within a cave system, we have to do something to reduce the stressors across the board and improve their habitat. And this is one of the most sound ways during one of the most critical time periods to reduce a certain level of stressors.
When bats go into caves in the winter to hibernate, they only have enough fat reserves to make it through the winter. And this fungus starts growing in the bat's skin cells, and it causes the bats to wake up. But the problem is they wake up so much to clear the infection that they burn all their fat reserves before they can leave the cave and find food on the landscape. And when recreational cavers go in and they shine their light on a bat or make a lot of noise, they also cause the bats to wake up. And so it's just sort of a compounding effect. And this particular cave has a fairly small population of tricolored bats, but the population has really fallen since white nose syndrome was introduced, and their populations have declined by about 85 to 90% in the state. And they're now proposed endangered federally under the Endangered Species Act, where we're starting to manage our caves and close up the ones that recreational caving is a problem in. It's a management tool. If our signs had been enough, this would not have been necessary, but our signs at this particular cave, it's so accessible, it wasn't enough. So we kind of made the tough decision to go ahead and gate it just to keep people out and give the bats a fighting chance. 6 feet on that one.
Every cave gate is different because every entrance is different. You also have to build your cave gate based on what species are hibernating in the cave or using the cave.
Push it to where you like it. Can't do it. It's going to be different. So 7.5. The thing that I've learned building cave gates is that nothing is ever square and nothing is ever going to go as planned. And really it's problem solving. There we go. I was wondering why it didn't seem right.
With cave gates, I've learned to use a cutting torch, which I'm proud of myself for. Learned to weld on this cave gate, not very well, but I learned.
We have, no desire, and it's not an effective management tool to gate all of our caves, only the ones where recreational caving is a problem and there are endangered bats. Basically, we use a 2-team system to build the gate.
But I think at this point, we have our system down.
One team operates a oxyacetylene cutting torch, to cut all the metal to length, and then brings it up the hill to the welder and the construction workers on top who are actually building the cave and putting it together. But of course, those 2 teams mesh a lot, and the cutters end up helping weld and hold metal, and we kind of all help each other out when we need it.
This one only took us 3 days. I'm impressed with that. So when I was hired on with the agency, I was hired on with biodiversity. So in my mind, that's surveying animals. I thought it was going to be a lot of hands-on with our greatest conservation needs species. Well, I'm really excited that I was wrong, and that I actually do get to be part of the management for those species as well. Because it's one thing to collect data and do research, but it's another thing to actually implement management practices that are going to benefit the species.
What we've seen in the caves that we've gated previously is when you keep people out, the bat population starts to grow, and we're hoping that we'll see the same trend in this cave.